Okay. This is gonna be the fourth. I don't know. I'm losing track. I've done a few of these. Reflection over the senior trip. So, yes, the fourth one. The trip to Provence. We left Paris early morning and we went on a voyage to Provence. The first thing we did was take a 40-minute bus ride to the train station. Then we waited at the train station for a little while and we got on a 3-hour train ride to get to Provence. Again, Provence is a region of France. It's not a city or anything like that. We were just staying in that region since it's close to Spain. And there were some really interesting things to see while we were there. Namely, the mountain village that we would visit later that day. Yeah. So we finally get everything situated. We make it to our hotel where we got to drop all of our stuff off and get like a nice hour to take a breather and reflect on everything that we had done in Paris. And then we got on a bus and we headed to the mountains. Now, the thing about southern France is that there are some really gorgeous mountain ranges out there, and while it was still, March, there were still like lots of snow on the mountaintops and everything like that. It was really beautiful. Again, I kind of fell asleep a little bit on the bus ride there because I wasn't getting as much sleep as I would have liked. And I was staying up a little later than I usually do too, just because I was like freaking out. I was like, oh my god, we're in Europe. But anyways, so we get to this mountain village and it was literally the most gorgeous place that I had ever seen. It like, even all the stuff that we saw in Paris really couldn't compare to the gravity of how the people there had built their town into a mountainside, like on top of a ridge. It was spectacular. The weather was like perfect, 65, 70 degrees, nice and sunny. The town's population maybe only had about 300 people in it. And there are just so many like adorable shops and like just adorable people there. This is when I really got a chance to use my French, because in Paris they're a little harder to understand. Parisian French is kind of like Spanish. But anyways, I got to talk to people and I really got to test out some of my skills, and I got to bond with my teachers a little more because I was with Madam Ryder. And we were just kind of going around and marveling at everything that we were seeing. I'm going to include images to all of this stuff, by the way. I need to get it from my phone first. But, yeah, I can't really describe it in words just how gorgeous everything was. There was something so simple about it because everything had the same kind of granite slab color because all of the buildings were made out of material from the mountain that they were living on. But there was a really elegant simplicity to it. There was, but the interiors of the shops were nothing like the exteriors. Everything was so perfectly, neatly compartmentalized and organized and just kept so pristine. I felt like I was walking into Harry Potter almost. There was just like this otherworldly gravitas to all of it. And I got to buy a lot of souvenirs while I was there. I used a lot of my food money to buy stuff for my family. I got my parents like some really nice decorative soap boxes with some nice like lavender soap in them. I got my little brother a box as well. Got my dad like this little keychain knife, which ended up being like way more expensive than what I paid for it. I paid €5 for this little tiny knife, and it turns out that the company that made it was selling them for like $120, which is insane to me because they were selling like a whole bunch of them. But yeah, it was so surreal, and I honestly didn't want to leave. The food there was superb. I got to try some stuff that I had never tried before. There was like this milk bread. It was super, super tasty. And I also got to try truffles for the first time, which is even better. But yeah, So that's kind of the first reflection on Provence and just what I wanted to talk about, and that's that town in particular. So see you in the next one. Okay.